They dug until they unearthed this stone sphere, and it leads to a very strange past. Excavations in Costa Rica revealed a huge, almost perfect stone, a sphere, a stone ball, and it prompted experts to question and even ask how this accuracy was achieved thousands of years ago. However, this discovery is not the only one, it's simply remarkable. These huge objects are referred to as diquis stone spheres in an area south of Costa Rica. It's estimated that they were built between 300 and 1500 AD from the forerunners of the Baruca culture. All this according to a Facebook post by the National Museum of Costa Rica. The sheer volume of these sculptures, these spheres, their fine surface finish, their almost perfect sphericity, the variety of sizes and the process of construction, symbolism and their use in public places make them extremely archaeological objects. This is what the site explains concerning the diquis stone spheres. They say it is an incredible opportunity to study these unique elements in the world, and especially the 5 partially buried spheres in the Finca 6 archaeological zone. This according to Isabella Medina, a Mexican archaeologist and researcher. She says, we're trying to release these stone spheres through an archaeological excavation in order to document their condition, both on the exposed upper surface and in the ground, in order to record the physical state of each one. According to Medina, the decision to preserve the semi-buried spheres was sufficient for their on-site conservation and subsequent study, already carried out by an interdisciplinary team at the National Museum of Costa Rica. They dug into this area of Costa Rica when they unearthed this huge stone ball. The spheres have incredible roundness, perfection, since some of them they're reaching 96% perfection, says Corrales, who also studies the instruments with which the spheres were made. The spheres are made. He said, we found the tools used near these spheres, as well as the instruments used to smooth the stone. They were made of various materials, granite and gabbro rocks, limestones or sandstone, and mainly gabbro. The production of these stone spheres and grinding of large volumes of igneous rocks such as gabbro, granodiorite, and andesites or sedimentary rocks such as limestone and sandstone. The procedure involved cutting the surface with stone tools. The ancients used heat as they allowed the removal of extra layers of rock, and with the help of wooden tools were able to control their roundness. The surface was treated with sand-like abrasives to match, and the larger spheres were also polished to give shine or sheen. There are spheres of a few centimeters up to almost 3 meters in diameter and can weigh up to 25 tons. So they come in all sizes. The raw material for their creation is at the foot of the Cordillera Costeña. From there, the material or the unfinished sculpture was transported to the place where the sphere would end up. It's not known how the ancients carried these stones, but it must have been a complex task involving a large organization, mobilizing people using levers and mounts. They dug into Costa Rica when they unearthed these stone spheres. They said, we have studied the territory in which there are more than 15 of these spheres, and some have been found adjacent to areas that give access to residential buildings as if they were deliberately placed there to welcome a visitor. They were used as an indication of hierarchy, rank, and ethnicity. This is what archaeologist Francisco Corrales explains from the National Museum of Costa Rica. These huge spheres were identified in important settlements, forming assemblies or alignments, and as part of the main architectural structures to reinforce the prestige of a place and the position of authority of leaders. Unfortunately, too many of these spheres were removed from the original site, but also where they originated, which means that valuable information about their origin and use has been lost today. As a consequence, the observation of an isolated object without such social context as part of it has created a number of myths and speculations without a scientific basis. With the evaluation of the pre-Columbian civilizations, some consider cases as being alien creatures. Others believe that behind them are the incalculable traces of the mythical Atlantis. In other words, these are Atlantean objects, even state-of-the-art navigation devices, gates between time portals and gate dimensions, or that spheres could be internal energy apparatus. Indeed, anthropologists Ivar Zapp and George Erickson claim that the spheres are proof that the decreased delta, a great civilization, settled near that sea. In their work Atlantis in America, they argue that stone spheres indicate sea routes and were used as navigation devices, and that their alignments were pointing to megalithic sites such as the Hercules Gibraltar columns, the pyramids, or the pyramids of Easter Island, indicating that the Atlas was associated with other cultures. That is, Atlantis was the Atlanteans were associated with other cultures, and that Costa Rica was evidence of their existence and had evidence of their existence. Of course, no one has the slightest proof of any of these claims, not even the archaeologists themselves with their landing concepts. Everybody makes judgments and assumptions for themselves and just tries to balance the odds. So there's still a mystery. No one knows what their function was, even though some believe that they could have been placed there by Atlanteans to show where other Atlantean settlements in the world were located. I've translated this from a Greek article for you. Please leave your comments, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for more updates. Thank you for your support. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.